All right, well, here we go. Nothing like a good dumpster diving find when you're not planning on it. Yeah, so this tailstock was there, and this is exactly how I found it. Haven't cleaned it up or anything. Seems to be complete, and it's not frozen or anything. A little bit of rust on the quill. It looks like it might still have some oil in there. Everything appears to be working. So that was item number one. And then this was just a, I think that's a Craftsman chalk box. It's even got chalk in it. Then the other item was this Collet chuck. It's got, a fair amount of surface rust, but internally it doesn't look too bad, and it does operate. I did try it. It does operate, and just looking at it, I'm not sure it's ever been installed. So I'm going to take that apart and see how it looks on the inside. Okay, I stuck a center in here. I'm not going to drive it home, but this is my tool height setter. That matches up as it should. All right, now let me put this in the other one. And yeah, it's low, okay? And let's see by how much. About 3/16 of an inch too low. All right, so it's not going to be usable on this lathe. Unless you made a new block or turkited it or something. Well, I thought for sure that tailstock was going to match up, but it came up a little short. And the quill almost fits. I mean, with some lapping work, I have to make a lap and lap it. It would probably go, but I'm just going to leave it intact. So if anybody needs a tailstock, let me know. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. It might just end up on eBay, who knows. Alright, let's see what we can do with this Collet chuck. Did I mention this is a 5C Collet chuck? Okay, I was looking this over carefully to see if there was any witness marks as far as alignment goes. I don't see anything, so I'm going to add a couple probably right here. Okay, that should do it. There's no maker's mark or label or anything on here, so I'm assuming it's an import because everything is metric. There's a couple of strange holes here. I thought they were for jacking screws, but they're threaded on the bottom. It's not the top. So I guess it's just an alternative way of mounting if you need it to mount from the back. Well, those coming right out. Yeah, these are they're M6 by 0.1, but it's like I said, it's threaded way down in there. Okay, now will this just come apart, or oh, look at that! Wow. Hopefully nothing comes flying out of here. Geez, that looks pretty good. Got some glob of grease right there. And we got our two pinions. Geez, this looks pretty good. Well, not much to that. Just a bevel gear with a thread that matches the 5C. And oh, we do have an alignment pin. So maybe that witness mark wasn't necessary. Those are those threaded holes. Well, there's not much to it. I'm going to degrease this off camera. Well, let's take these pinions out. Just these unscrew. Oh, they unscrew from this side. Huh. Okay.
Retainers. Okay.
I mean, this thing doesn't look like it's even been used at all. Wow. All right, well, let me, I'm going to degrease all this off camera, and then we'll see how it looks. All right, I got everything cleaned up, and I tell you, it looks pretty good. I mean, there's no, you can see a little bit of score marks where the, I guess you could call that the scroll, where the scroll runs, okay. Yeah, but a little bit of staining here, but I mean, it's not pitted or anything. Gear teeth look perfect. There's some surface rust in the taper here, but I don't see any pitting. It's just surface rust. So hopefully that'll clean up. And this side looks really good. Pinions look like brand new essentially. So I'm going to just give this the Evapor Rust soak. Hopefully it doesn't turn it real dark. Sometimes it does that, but use a fairly new bottle. In fact, it is a new bottle. I got some older Evapor Rust, but it's pretty dark and I don't want to stain these parts if we can help it. All right, I'll let those go overnight. I'll check them tomorrow. Might even go 2 days. We'll see how it goes. Well, I was going to leave these in the Evapor Rust overnight, and I decided to check it. It's been about maybe 2.5, 3 hours, and I'm glad I did. It's pretty much taken care of the rust. And what will happen, depending on the type of metal, and I don't know what this is, but depending on what type of steel it is, sometimes it will go dark on you from the Evapor Rust. And this was starting to get dark. So I took it out and scrubbed it with soap and water and some Scotch-Brite and got some color back. So what I'm going to do now, I was looking at the taper in here and it looks good. A little bit of tarnish in one spot, but there's no pitting, so I think we're going to be good. It should be a usable chuck. I'm going to hit it with this now, Barkeeper's Friend. This stuff is great. And some Scotch-Brite. I'll do that off camera in the sink, and I'll show you what it looks like after that. Hopefully it's an improvement. Well, that was a bit of a fail. This stuff usually works really good on cast iron, so I'm pretty sure now that this is some type of alloy steel or tool steel. But anyways, I resorted to Scotch-Brite and WD. There's a few spots with pits. I mean, I might consider hitting this with some emery once it's up and running. But, you know, considering it was a free dumpster find, I think it cleaned up pretty good. So, okay, it's been a few days, guys. I ended up using the easy button on the back plate. So I got this, I think it was from All Industrial Tools. It was like 55 bucks, free shipping. It's a D14, matches the lathe. It comes with the studs and everything. And this is made for a Bison style adjusted true similar chuck, okay? Call it chuck. And the bolt pattern and everything matches up. So, I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer. And I was just checking off camera that I've got to get the right bolts, but the whole pattern is perfect. And it's got some slop. to give you that adjustability. Okay, so I mean it was just a no-brainer to go with this. Okay, now I've also been doing some checking, so I've got to mill this off, or turn that off, I guess would be the proper terminology. And then I was checking, once we put a register in here to match this back plate, we're going to have plenty of clearance on this, on the attaching holes. Okay, the thickness is okay. I ran one of the studs in to see if we had extra clearance, you know, and we're good. No issues there. Okay, so then I took a closer look at what it would take to convert this to and adjust a true style chuck. So I looked at a 90-degree pattern, which is these blue marks, okay, to add some little set screws for our adjusting screws. It's a little close to some of the features, and this is the only spot because everything else is 120-degree spacing. So when you go with 90-degree spacing, it starts to interfere with everything. So this was the only spot I could find where it would miss everything. But it's a little close to some of the features, which I'm really not crazy about. But the biggest thing is the thickness of this plate. So even with these little 832 set screws, they're going to, when we drill and tap to insert these, something like that, right? It's going to break out. So that means I would have to turn this surface down a little bit, but it's already pretty thin because it's relieved quite a bit in the back here. So I'm not really crazy about that. I could also mill some pockets where these screws go, okay, which probably would be okay. And we're only going to be catching, we're not going to be catching 100% with the tip, and these are cups, so I'd have to grind those off, but that's no big deal. We'd only be catching maybe 75% with the tip of the set screw when it makes contact with the register that we leave in there. So that's not ideal either. And then these red marks, I was just seeing what it would take, or what would happen if we went with 120-degree spacing with 3 points rather than 4. So that's better. I mean, there's a lot more meat, less, you know, we're not close to the other features, but to try to dial in something with 3 points is it's a pain. So I'd rather not go that way. Okay, so I mean, after looking at this for like the last hour and scratching my head a bit, I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and mount it conventionally. Just, you know, turn the features that we need on the mounting plate here. Leave a little clearance, maybe 5 thousandths, so I can bump it in, right, rather than using the set screws. I think I'll try that first, and if we can bump it in and everything looks good, and we try some different collets and the runout is acceptable, I think I'm just going to go with that, because I can always take it back apart and add these set screws later. So I think I'm going to go the safe route to start with. So let's. I'm going to try first making sure that this fits properly on our lathe spindle. So let me do that first. I'll probably do that off camera. If there's any issues, I'll let you know, but I want to make sure we're good to go here before doing anything else. All right. Well, I was kind of expecting this, and it's no fault of this backplate. It's my lathe, the spindle is ground slightly off, so in most cases I have to shim the back plates. So this is a 2000s. This is an old shim I had laying around. I'm going to make a new one. This is the right thickness. It's just I just want a cleaner one without all these dents and wrinkles and so forth. So I'll probably do this off camera. I'm just going to cut it out of some shim stock. Hopefully I got some 2000s left in my Alright, we're good to go. I got a sheet of 2000s. not the easiest stuff to work with, but I think we improved it over the original. I tried a bridge punch, you know, for these radiuses. I just did a test, and it just rolls the edge over too much, even with a hard piece of plastic underneath. Yeah, not acceptable. Okay, I got it mounted on here with our 2000 shim. Just checking our Runout. It's like about a half a thou. And then the axial Runout. Just a hair over a thou. Maybe a thou and a half. We'll just skim that when we work on the rest of it. All right, so we're going to turn off this nose piece to start with. I had to add some extra swarf containment. Stuff's going everywhere. Thou. Alright, I got my DRO set off camera, and I've changed our tool to a brazed carbide with a nice sharp corner. So we need to create a step down register, and we're going to go in. We're going to remove 172 thousandths, and our final diameter here will be 3.734. So I've got everything dialed in. I got an anti-bozo mark. So let's give it a shot. Just taking 10 thousandths first just to see how it's going to cut. Yeah, it's doing fine. Let's take a little more. Tip 20. Taking 30 this time. Okay, this is the last pass. Sneaking up on the shoulder here. Let's take a measurement. Looks like we're 2/1000ths over. Just a little bit of wiggle so that we can dial it in. Okay. Let me break those edges. A little slower than we need it to be. Right at the limit of what I can reach with bed travel, saddle travel. Had to extend that tool out a ways. Time for assembly. I've got everything cleaned, we're ready to go. First thing I'm going to put in is this little guide key, and it has a little bit of a slope to it, so I want to make sure the slope is downhill toward the front. That way it'll engage the collet easier, and I'm going to use a collet to help align it. I'm going to time lapse most of this because it's probably not going to be that exciting, and it's going to take a little bit of time. just a very fine thread and a lot of gear reduction. You got a line on these pins, you just go down until you line up with that line. Guys, this literally took me less than a minute to bump this in. And we've got a 1/2 thousandths indicator. I am happy with that. Let's move out to the end. I'd say that's a little under a 1/2 thou, maybe a 1/4 of a thou. I don't know how perfect this rod is, but tell you what, I'm happy with that. For a dumpster find, heck yeah. Let's try a different rod and a different collet. That was a Tailstock, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, made in Germany collet. Okay, I got a 9/16 collet and a piece of 9/16 drill blank in there. Not as good on this one. We're running about a 1/2 thou. And if we run out to the end, I think it's normal to have a little bit of uphill on your machine spindle. Okay, so this is not so good out here on the end. Let me switch this collet. It's got a lot of usage on it, so let me see if I can get a better collet. Okay guys, same setup, just a different collet. This is one of those, whoops, don't bump your gear shift, there we go. This is one of those German collets. You guys are right in my way, but let me run this out. Awesome, and that's without doing anything to the chuck. I didn't re-zero it at all. I'm happy. For a dumpster find, heck yeah. All right, let's go wrap this up real quick. Alrighty, well hey, that worked out great. You know, nothing like a good dumpster find. I guess a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. Yeah, and I was actually looking into buying either one of these imports or just going with a drawbar, spindle protector, adapter method. Yeah, this is going to be fine. No complaints. I think it's working out really good. I might shine it up a little bit. We'll see. I got to figure out what to do with this tailstock. It's for a 12-inch lathe. Not for this one though. I might just take it down to the Barzy Bash. We'll see. Or if anybody's interested, just let me know. Yeah, there's no reason to hang on to it. It's not going to do me any good. So anyways, yeah, leave a comment down below if you would please. Hit that thumbs up button. And thanks again for stopping by. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. See you later.